Namibia is currently experiencing the worst drought in 14 years. Even though the agricultural sector might experience the full brunt of the drought, all Namibians will be affected during this dry period, and consumers may soon begin to feel the pinch on their wallets as the scarcity of farming products on the market could lead to inflationary pressures. CCTV's Fahmida with more on the hard luck currently befalling Namibia's farmers.
Namibia's farming sector is predominantly made up of livestock with a smaller crop farming industry. 2 million cattle are spread out across the country. However, farming in Namibia can be a risky business. Namibia is a desert country with a very dry climate. Even though rainfall has been above average for the past 6 to 10 years, farmers are always prepared for drought. This year, rainfall has been erratic, with a drop of between 25 and 40%. Vogt owns an almost 8,000-hectare farm in the Khomas region, just outside the capital Windhoek. He's been in the game for decades, but this year is a particularly difficult one. Rainfall has been far lower than expected.
Well, here on this farm we have been quite lucky. We have only 25% less than the average, but the neighbor farms already have, some of them have had very little rain, very little rain. There's no grazing at all. We have a little bit of grazing.
Vogt is concerned that if the drought continues for another year, his losses will be severe.
With the drought and so, it really is difficult. You can't plan ahead. You have to be, they say farmers are crisis managers. You have to be a crisis manager, because if a year like this comes, then you really have to try and manage the crisis. Many young farmers we did have some nearly 10 years of very good rainy seasons, and many farmers have stocked up to the limit, and they are really in trouble now.
Due to a lack of grazing, Vogt will have to get rid of 10% of his 600 cattle. This could rise to almost a third of his stock if the drought continues.
When the drought is over and good rainy seasons come, I want to buy stock again, then there is going to be a big demand, and it's as sure as can be, the prices will rocket sky high, and that makes it very difficult. It's really difficult to get new stock in. Everybody wants new stock, and you have to pay a high price.
But Vogt is not the only farmer in this predicament, as the entire country has not received rain.
With respect to crop farming, the irrigation farmers, yes, they had some crops there, but I think the dryland crop production actually was a total failure this year. Just to give you an indication, last year the dryland crop production produced about 33,000 or 36,000 tons of maize. This year it only produced 1,300 tons.
It's been a double knock for farmers, with beef prices also dropping by 30% compared to last year.
I think agriculture's contribution over the past years have in fact declined, which is a worrying sign, because agriculture is still the most important employer. We have in our targeted intervention program to improve that situation designated agriculture as a priority sector, and we are improving its infrastructure so that we can have improved produce, volumes of products that reach the market.
Meanwhile, farmers like Vogt will continue hoping that rains expected later this year will give them some reprieve as they count their losses. Fahmida, CCTV, Khomas region, Namibia.